Budget and Management Secretary Freddie Abando stressed that the fund releases under the Disbursement Acceleration Program had a major impact on the country's high GDP growth. The funds released under the DAP from October 7 to 2012 totaled 127 billion pesos. Freddie Abando tells us more.
In 2010, when the Aquino administration assumed power, its commitment was to champion a crusade for good governance. One of the key initiatives is to reform the budget process to cut leakages and losses of taxpayers' money, which was rampant in the past administration. Initially, there were setbacks. Spending was low. Economic growth was minimal, but gains were paying off as government spending began to peak in 2011 as savings from unspent items from the budget were pulled, leading to the creation of the Disbursement Acceleration Program. Budget Secretary Freddie Abando stressed it was President Aquino's decision to implement the DAP.
DAP is a measure that we adopted to try to get us to where we are right now. If you recall, Freddie, in the past, people tended to treat their budgets as if they are two-year programs. They don't spend them on the year that they receive them. Worse, some just deliberately don't spend so that at the end of the year they can declare savings and then fatten their wallets with allowances and bonuses. But of course, the principal problem is there was too much leakages in the economy. So when we took over, the first task is to stop the leakages, stop the hemorrhaging. And true enough, we did. But of course, its impact on the economy was adverse because our growth went down to 3.6%. And many people were criticizing us. And we could hardly even explain ourselves.
Abando reiterated it's constitutional and legal. Speaker Feliciano Balbonte expressed the same position. It will stay in the budget for what it was planned for, despite the filing of petitions before the Supreme Court to declare it unconstitutional.
If you look back, who was correct, right? So then after that, we told our bureaucracies, our departments, we have to get projects moving. Because if you don't, as the President said, you use your money or you lose it. And so we adopted a measure to accelerate spending. But even before that, we adopted, as a first reform measure, zero-based budgeting. So that those projects which have been proven to be useless or just a source of graft, we put a complete stop to them. And there are quite a number. And then the money that we save from that, we use to increase the budget of infrastructure, CCT. So that is really the point of the DAP, to move the money, get the services provided, implement the infrastructure projects.
127 billion pesos was released from October 2011 to 2012 for projects and programs funded by DAP. Abando said it had a major impact on the country's high GDP growth, which is the envy of many nations in Asia. In the just concluded APEC meeting in Bali, Indonesia, and the ongoing summit in Brunei, the President has earned for the country the respect it deserves as a leading emerging economy in Asia.
If you read every credit rating agency analysis of how we were able to get to where we are now, they always point to prudent fiscal management, effective fiscal consolidation, increase government spending. So, ang tanong ko, bakit hindi nakikita ng ilan? Ng marami yon. At ang pinapalabas, masama yung DAP, pero hindi inuugnay doon sa ating mga naabot na maraming pagbabago.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.